Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell, and in today's video, we're going to continue looking at motivation strategies and move on to the next key knowledge point in our study design, which is where we are going to look at the advantages and disadvantages of the motivation strategies, as well as their effect on short-term and long-term motivation. So just a reminder that the strategies that are in our study design are performance-related pay, career advancement, investment in training, strategies for employee support, as well as sanctions. And we won't be going through what each of those strategies are in this video. So if you need to learn what each of the strategies are and how they can motivate employees, then I just recommend you look at the previous video. So let's start with performance related pay. And one of the advantages of this strategy is that it can improve the performance of employees because they are looking to achieve targets in their pursuit for increased wages. And another benefit is that the best performers are normally rewarded within the business. Therefore, those that are contributing more to the business are in fact rewarded. So that reduces the situation where everyone receives the same or similar pay no matter how hard they work. And this can help attract highly talented employees as they know that if they hit targets, they can actually be paid very competitive wages. However, it can develop a competitive culture. This can prevent teamwork as well from occurring within the business as the employees may be more looking out for themselves and not wanting to help others for fear that they may perform well and therefore prevent themselves from achieving a particular target. And it can also be expensive for the business to offer these types of benefits and could even be challenging to create metrics or targets that are fair for all employees, which is often one of the main issues when implementing performance related pay. And if we look at the effect of performance related pay in the short term motivation, it's often seen as a short term motivator because the employee is driven to work hard to be paid more in the short term. And we call this an extrinsic motivator, where the business is providing some form of carrot or something external to increase the motivation of the employees. And they are often seen as short term motivators. So bonuses and commissions are often paid relatively quickly and therefore encourage that drive to put in effort in the near term to actually achieve that higher rate of pay in the short term. However, over the longer term, performance related pay can lose its effectiveness as the employees can often become motivated by other factors other than just money. Now, this isn't correct for all employees. However, many employees, once they become comfortable with their wage, extra pay can actually lose its impact, therefore doesn't provide as much motivation. However, methods such as share plans may be able to offer long-term motivation where the employee knows that if they put in effort and perform well over a long period of time, that they're going to be rewarded with part ownership in the business. For career advancement, one of the benefits is that it can help attract and retain high quality employees because they know they have the opportunity to take on greater responsibility within the business, and therefore there's no real need for them to leave. And when an employee is promoted, well, it can provide motivation to others to follow in a similar path as they know that their hard work can be rewarded. And another benefit is by promoting from within, the business actually knows more about the ability of the employee so they can have more confidence in offering them a promotion rather than always bringing in someone from outside of the business where they're not really sure exactly how they're going to perform. However, there are normally only so many promotion opportunities within a business and what they can offer. So it makes it very difficult to offer career advancement opportunities for all employees. And those that miss out on a promotion, well, they may be resentful because they may think that they're the best person for the job and therefore feel undervalued, which can have a negative impact on motivation. And if there are limited opportunities for employees to actually advance their careers, well, the business may find that the employees start leaving for opportunities elsewhere. Now, over the short term, employees are driven to give effort and work hard because they know that they have the opportunity to be promoted in the near future. There's also that level of trust by the business, helping the employees feel more valued, increasing that short term motivation. And all these benefits, well, they also translate to long term motivation. However, the employee also has the ability to strive to climb the corporate ladder. So they may see a role that they wish to be in the next 3 to 5 years and therefore be motivated to work really hard towards that role. And if the business is offering these opportunities, it can help develop a culture that the employees actually want to be a part of. So that develops loyalty and commitment from the employees, which can have a positive effect on long term motivation. We move to the advantages of a business investing in training, which can improve the skills of employees and therefore the overall business performance will likely improve. Training can help retain quality employees, similar to career advancement, because they know that the business is investing in them and they often feel valued by the business. And the improvement of the skills and knowledge, it helps the employees feel as though they are growing, which can be really exciting for them, improving that motivation. However, investing in training can be expensive and time consuming for the business because they need to pay for the training as well as time away from work for the employee to be trained. And the money spent on training, it can be difficult to actually measure the return on that investment. And once the employee has been trained and develops their skills, so the business has invested in them, there is always a chance that the employee actually leaves the business and therefore creates a loss of that particular investment. So, with training, as the employees develop their skills, they're often motivated in the short term to implement these skills. This can improve the self esteem of the employee, leading to motivation in the short term. And again, the employees are feeling valued and trusted by the business, which also improves the level of commitment in the short term. And businesses that invest in ongoing training can benefit from long term motivation from the employees. The benefits are much the same as what we mentioned in the short term motivation, where the employees are feeling valued and committed towards the business. And the implementation of this ongoing training, where it's regular and ongoing over the long term, well, it can help develop a learning culture where the employees are driven and encouraged to learn. And that type of environment can be really positive one to work on or work in and be a part of, and can impact the long term motivation of the employees positively. We move to employee support, which, as we mentioned in the previous video, can come in many different forms. And one of the benefits of providing support to employees, whether that be mentoring, managerial support, access to counseling, or any other method, well, it can create a positive work environment that the people feel cared for. And if it can improve the well-being, job satisfaction, and loyalty from the employees, which can go a long way to getting the best out of the employees, which is the whole point of actually motivating these employees. And remember that support can help an employee succeed in their role, as well as help an employee that is having challenges in their work life or outside of their work life. And these supports can help the employees get back to being at their best. However, the business may find it challenging to offer supports to all employees. So, no matter how large a business actually is, resources are always limited, and they may find it challenging to offer these supports to all, as they can be really costly. And while the business can offer many different forms of support, there is no guarantee that the employees will actually take advantage of them. In terms of short term motivation, support can improve the well being of employees, leading to more immediate motivation. The business is looking out for the employees, which can encourage them to give effort. And so, all forms of support can lead to reduced stress, which can again improve the motivation of the employees in the short term. And this feeling of self worth and care can improve the level of loyalty towards the business, which can lead to a greater level of commitment from the employees and their work. And finally, sanctions, where the employees face consequences for poor performance or breaching policies. They can help deter those negative behaviours from employees as well as reinforce positive ones. There's a sense of accountability and expectations within the business. So everyone knows they're going to be held to account on those expectations. And the fear of a sanction or actually receiving a sanction can change any unwanted behaviours very quickly. However, it can create a culture that's based around fear or mistrust, particularly if this is the main strategy that's used. This is the core, it can cause resentment from the employees. Now, most of the other strategies that we've looked at, I think, in fact, all of the other strategies can help the employees feel more valued. However, sanctions don't really do this, particularly when the employee is being sanctioned and if this is the main strategy that's used throughout the business. Now, the sanction can create a sense of fear and accountability, which can cause the employee to be motivated to actually follow the business policy or procedure out of fear of being sanctioned. And the employees that see an employee being sanctioned for displaying undesired behaviours can be motivated themselves to not go down the same path. However, over the long term, using sanctions can create a negative environment within the business. And that's particularly the case if it's the only or the main strategy used, as we mentioned before. And employees may become resentful or disengaged if they feel that they're not being treated fairly or that a colleague has not been treated fairly. So, if the business or senior managers are overly punitive, the employees don't feel valued, and that can have a negative effect on motivation over the long term. So, just to recap, over the last two videos, we've looked at motivation strategies, which are the specific actions a business can take to improve the drive within employees. We've looked at performance related pay, career advancement, investment in training, employee support, and sanctions. And you need to learn the advantages and disadvantages for these motivation strategies. And we've gone through some examples of those today, as well as their impact on the short term and long term employee motivation. So that brings us to the end of this video and the end of motivation strategies. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And until then, remember that for questions, activities, and help in your VCE journey, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.